It's the highlight of the British basketball calendar, the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic 2019, live from the Brixton Rec. My name is Liam Jepson, and I'm joined by City of London Academy head coach Jackson Gibbons. And Jackson, we've been here all weekend for the women's game, the dunk contest, the three-point contest, and the underclassmen game just before now. But now we've got the class of 2019 game coming. What are you most looking forward to in this game?
Again, I hope it replicates the first game because it was a phenomenal game earlier on with the underclassmen. I'm really looking forward to seeing Ade, who was last year's MVP, defending his MVP title. And then you've got guys out there, Niall Harris, who I know plays with you up at Loughborough. I think now he is so simple. We call it, where I'm from, meat and potatoes basketball. There's no sauce, no gravy. He just keeps it simple, but it's so effective. And then you've got Hosana, you've got Pete Torre, and then our own Lanny Peckin from Kohler as well. So a lot of good guys in this game that I'm looking forward to seeing.
And some good coaches on display as well. Steve Hansel from Team Birmingham Elite and Rob Paternostro out of the BBL. Great for the Classic to be able to attract coaches of that caliber. I mean, Steve played out in the Euro League in '96, and Rob, playoff champions for the last 3 years in a row. So to have those guys come in and coach the next generation can only add to the game as well.
Yeah, nice to see Steven Moroso getting an opportunity to do this game as well. They're up at the, their club, Team Birmingham Elite, and they work really hard on developing the basketball in the Birmingham area, so they deserve it. And then obviously, you look over on the other sideline and Rob's won the BBL title for how many years in a row. And so what an opportunity for these young guys to be coached by Rob Paternostro, and they got James Veer as his assistant. So it's a great opportunity that Sam and Hoopsfix are providing them to be coached by some great coaches.
And we've already spoken about it a lot across the weekend, but to have added a Hoopsfix All-Star women's game yesterday, it's just a great step forward for the game. Give your thoughts and your kind of views on how much you enjoyed that game from a coach's standpoint and how important it really was.
Yeah, I think there's a responsibility for all bodies in this country and all organizations to involve the women just as much. There's no reason why there should be a game for guys and not for girls. And yesterday it was so well attended, it was heartwarming, and it wasn't just a token gesture, it was a great game. The girls came out and competed, the crowd were into it, it was competitive until the very last minute. It didn't go the way I wanted it to, but you know what, it was just a fantastic experience to be involved in it and be around those girls and coach such a great group of girls. So yeah, awesome, and I hope it now becomes a regular fixture at the event, and it's a 2-day event for years to come, and the girls get that type of opportunity moving forwards.
Yeah, I can echo that. It was a phenomenal game, and you can see now the capacity crowd in here is really starting to fill up. It's been a sellout for over a week now. Tickets have been like gold dust, and we're just 6.5 minutes away from tip. So whilst myself and Jackson go and take our commentary positions, I caught up earlier today with Hosana Kitenge, who's in his third Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, to get his views on the game ahead. Welcome to the Brixton Rec, where we are for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic 2019. I'm joined by Hosanna Kitenge of Charnwood College and Loughborough Riders, and a hugely successful year for you this year. Hosanna, just give us a bit of a recap on your season and how it's gone.
So obviously being a part of the Charnwood program allows me to be part of the Loughborough Student Riders also, and we had a very successful season with the Loughborough Riders. To start the year we went to the cup final and the trophy final. We only won one of the two, but it was great success for the club and for the program itself. And we're making history every year, and we're getting better and better. And credit to our coaches who have done an amazing job to develop such amazing players who have gone on and done such big things, like myself and a few of my teammates. Obviously now with the EABL stuff, we're undefeated season. There's not much you can say about that. All the numbers talk for themselves. Played with a great group of guys this year. Everyone came in from day one. We knew our goal, and we capitalised on every opportunity that we got. We beat a very good Barking Abbey team, a great Barking Abbey team. But that's what we talked about from the beginning of the season. That's what we came out and we did.
Awesome, man. Putting in some big time performances yourself in both EABL and Division 1, and I was fortunate to be on the sidelines for some of them with Loughborough. But those sorts of performances that you've been putting in has allowed you to be selected for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic for the third year, and one of the only few on the floor to have done that 3 times. Just talk to us a little bit about how important it is for you to have been selected for the Classic.
Obviously, it's an event I look forward to at the end of every year. I work hard throughout the season to be selected for this and to be recognised as one of the best players in my age group for the past 3 years. You know, that's not something many people can say. But, you know, just come out here, try to put on a show for everyone, you know. Just do what I do, really, just play with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and, you know, hopefully everyone's excited and as entertained as I will be, of course, and then hopefully as you guys will be.
And playing against Charnwood teammate Niall Harris as well, I'm sure you're going to give each other a little bit of banter across the game, and that goes on. Yeah,
I mean, this is the first time we've ever, you know, really had a season where we've been as close as we were, you know. We played together in the same Division 1 team, we suited up to at the same time for the BBL, you know, like stuff like that. Like, he's one of my closest friends, and today, you know, he's not my friend today, he's just a random dude in a white kit today. But, you know, I love him to bits, but today, I don't care what happens to him.
And then moving forward, committed to Coastal Carolina in Division 1 for next season. Just talk to us about how excited you must be to get out there to the States and play and pull on that turquoise jersey for Coastal Carolina.
I mean, for me personally, the excitement's died down because I've known since November. But just the fact that I'm really playing against the best players in America and the best players in the world, I mean, it's a great opportunity, and for me, it's just another step in my career. And, you know, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'm very humbled by the situation that I'm in. Of course, coming here for the 3rd year and getting that scholarship, I mean, it means a lot to me, and I appreciate every work that everyone's done for me the past few years, and I'm genuinely excited about it. But, you know, I just got to go out and hoop now.
And how's that going to help you work towards your aspirations as well, and wanting to almost establish yourself as a basketball player post-college? Always rebounding out here, Hosana Kitenge.
It's a lot. You know, like I said, it's just a stepping stone for me. I've got bigger aspirations than playing college basketball, but for me, you know, I want to play basketball for as long as I can, make a living out of it. But honestly, I don't do it for any other reason than I just love playing basketball. So, you know, until the day becomes boring to me, that's the day I'm going to stop playing. But right now, like, my aspiration is just to keep enjoying basketball every day, play with a smile on my face. That's the least I can do.
And I can guarantee you will see this man play with a smile on his face today as Team Black go up against Team White, tipping off at 4 p.m. here at the Brixton Rec, live on our YouTube page. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon from the Rough House, the Brixton Rec Centre. As I was saying before, this is the highlight in the British basketball calendar and a real showcase of British basketball talent and culture. This class of 2019 game, I don't think it's going to disappoint. I'm going to put it out there. It's a bold statement, Jackson, but the amount of talent on display on these two teams is just epic.
Yeah, you asked me in the pre-interview who I was looking forward to, and now the players are all lined up, and I actually don't know. There's just so many of them. There's so much talent out there, and I think we'll discuss it as we go along. They're all going on to great opportunities after this, and it just speaks to the standard and the caliber of player in this game right now that, you know, we're about to watch 24 of the best upperclassmen in the country.
We are indeed, and we are just 3.5 minutes away from tip-off. For those of you that are joining us, make sure you're also following us over on social media at Hoopsfix, using the hashtag HASC19. Let us know where you're watching and how you're watching the game, as both teams are currently being announced onto the floor. Great to see Callan low here as well. He actually dislocated his ankle on Wednesday night in his last scrimmage and practice prior to the Classic. I caught up with him before the game. He was actually in really high spirits. Like Newbury, where he's committed to next season, they're still really looking forward to him getting there. They're ready to support him through his rehab. I think he's probably going to be out for 2 to 3 months as he recovers. So, whilst you never wish that upon anyone, it's great to see that he's still able to be involved here and out in the kit despite being on crutches and being a part of the team and recognised for his kind of selection here. So, just great to see.
Definitely good that Sam still celebrated him and that Hoopsfix allowed him to come out here and celebrate with the guys. Real shame that he didn't get to come out and play today. Great talent, would have added to the game, really provided added value for everybody to watch. So nice that they celebrated him today.
So 2 minutes and 15 on the clock before we get underway. For those of you that aren't familiar with Hoopsfix, the Classic is delivered as part of the Hoopsfix Foundation, which is the non-for-profit arm of the website and social media brand Hoopsfix, set up by Sam Nita back in 2014. And the foundation's intention is to ensure basketball has some support to reach its potential across the home nations, and its sole mission really to grow and raise the profile of basketball in the United Kingdom through a focus on, but not limited to, events and initiatives like the Classic today. But I know Sam's got big plans for other events in the pipeline and potentially some educational resources. So if you are able to, there's a Patreon account where you can donate to Hoopsfix on a monthly basis, and I know Sam and all the team at Hoopsfix would really appreciate it, even if it's only a little that you can give and help promote and support British basketball, as it's definitely on the up.
Every little helps for sure, and you know, I think that the people that know Sam and his grind with Hoopsfix over the years will definitely tell you that this is not about him, and it's not about a profit-making scheme. This is about building British basketball and giving exposure. And sometimes you have to wonder, what would, you know, the exposure of the game like be in this country without Sam and the work that he's done over the last 10 years or so. This event being, you know, case in point that he's putting on the #1 summer event this summer, along with Den Camp, along with, you know, the Pro Classic guys that do a great job of providing the Summer League too. So all needed, and if people do want to just go and jump onto the Patreon account.
Yeah, definitely, it would be much appreciated. And we're now just seconds away as the capacity crowd have all retaken their seats after the dunk contest, where, I mean, I don't know how many people are in the building, but it felt like everybody was out on the court. We had to clear a little gangway so that we could actually see the dunk contest, and even then we were still on chairs. It was a spectacle for those that were watching, and you can catch that back on YouTube as it's played back, but we are definitely at the main event now.
I'm going to hazard a guess to say that we're at capacity in the arena.
Yeah, I would say we are at capacity, and have been now for, what, the 4 years that Sam's been putting the event on in Brixton. So huge really for Sam. And at some point, I know we mentioned this on the stream before as well, but at some point he's got to look at a new venue, surely.
Yeah, might want to keep the nostalgia of the Rec, but if it keeps growing the way it's growing, literally you'll have people streaming out of the doors, and health and safety will have to come into question. But what a turnout today. Literally the gym is absolutely packed.
It is indeed, and Team Black are the first out on the floor. Team White going through their last pre-game with head coach Rob Paternostro. I'm excited to see Rob coach in this environment as well. I know Rob personally, obviously, through like love for basketball and the Riders and the work that we do there. And he's always been supportive of me as a coach, but he's the like uber competitor, ultimate competitor, and I know that he's going to come into this with the same mindset, and everyone's seen him on the sides and seen his like his rants and his mannerisms, and he is a phenomenal motivator and a great X's and O's coach, and so it's going to be really interesting to see him with the younger age group and how he gets them motivated to play and try and get the dub for Team White.
Incredible opportunity for them to be able to be coached for a game under the Coach of the Year. And, you know, I don't know if I can't remember whether it was the BBL Coach of the Year, but pretty much every year, you know, he does such a fantastic job, and his team is there or thereabouts every year. They've won it multiple times, and so for these 12 young guys to say that they've been coached by Rob Paternostro, assisted by James Veer, is a real great compliment to them. And also on the opposite side, Steve Hansel, you know, played basketball at a level that only, you know, these guys dream about playing one day. You know, some of them will make it there, some of them won't, and Steve's got that experience that he could give to them in this game. So real honor and a blessing for these young guys to be able to have the coaching staffs that they have.
Yeah, Steve actually a EuroLeague winner in '98 with Italian side Kinder Bologna. And not many other British guys could say they've won the EuroLeague, if any.
I would say probably no others, yeah, and that's a hell of an accolade for him to have. Great player too. He came back here in the late 2000s and played, I think it was with Birmingham Mets, and lucky enough to share the court with him, and sharing the court was about as far as it went, because he was light years ahead of everybody else that was on the court at the time. So yeah, really fantastic player.
And we're underway now. The first 45 seconds, a relatively nervy start for both teams as Adebayo is blocked by Kitenge on the free. Kitenge up to Jonathan Brown, but Brown couldn't get the lob. The ball came to Kitenge and he took the contact, and already Kitenge smiling and the energy showing through. But 57 seconds in and we've got our first bucket of the game.
And one of the things with Hosana Kitenge that you love is very similar to Omari Williams in the first game. They love to pass first as big men, and they're really hard to stop as one-on-one players, but they're always looking to dish out and create for other people. And you saw it just there. He's looking to throw the lob to JB. Didn't come off, but he stayed true, went and got the rebound and created an and one play.
Ball in the hands of Niall Harris, finds Adebayo. Back to Nathaniel Powell, penetrates inside, finds Harris on the back door cut, almost loses the handle but gets the two to drop. And the whistle is blown as Niall lost the splint on his pinky finger, which he actually dislocated in a practice before our playoff semi-final. And then the next day he was suited up, ready to play, and the splint was on his finger and ready to go, but still having to wear it. Kitenge in the corner for three, no good, rebounded by Powell. Powell pushing the pace from the 5 spot. The Bark and Abbey product. Finds Belak. Belak for three. It's good for Joe Belak. And we saw him as a participant in the 3-point shootout yesterday. And showing us why there with the first three of the game and a 5-3 lead for Team White. Okros hands it off to Bedford. Bedford almost loses the handle. Shot clock down to 2. Bedford doesn't know it. Blocked by Gordon. Harris comes down with the ball. Harris still has it somehow ahead to Adebayo. Adebayo finds Belak in the corner.
Back to back.
It's a 2 though, he toed the line. And Simon Hosanna, the in-house entertainer and commentator, just stepping over there, you probably could have heard him. And another block for Gordon, who manages to come up with the loose ball. Threads the needle to Adebayo. Adebayo sits on the ball. And Milo Gordon, 2 big defensive plays out of Canterbury Academy. He was named the EABL's most improved player.
And he had a fantastic season, he really did. He just is one of these intangible guys. He can do everything you need him to do on the floor. Really tough competitor, just plays hard all of the time. And Adam Davies down there in Canterbury and Jesse says Aunt Billy Better must love coaching him. He looks like a really coachable young man that just comes to work every day with lunch pail and a hard hat mentality, just ready to rock and roll. So yeah, really exciting player and well-deserved most improved player of the year, I think.
Yeah, and in that time as well, moved up into the top 20 in the Denkamp rankings. That's a big-time achievement for him there as well.
And is he going somewhere next year?
He's not yet, no.
Hasn't signed.
He's not. Making his debut in the Classic as well. So first time out of the game, which was called by Team Black and Steve Hansel. It's the same 5 that take the floor for both teams. We're positioned next to the coaching staff with Rob Paternostro, and he somehow managed to rope James Veer in as an assistant. So I mean, the coaching know-how between the two of those is pretty substantial, but smiles on their faces so far as the team are leading by 4 in the first couple of minutes.
I think if you combine those two, they've forgotten more basketball than most people know.
And the rebound for Okros and Team Black. Okros finds Sammy Keita in the corner. Keita to Brown. Brown uses the screen. Sizing up against Gordon. Gordon again, good defensive positioning. Samuel Keita, no good at the rack, but he's fouled and he's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Samuel Keita and Reece Sundermore are 2 products of Kennington General's basketball club. It's just a grassroots club in South London, run by Junior Williams, London City Royals head coach, and they came through that program and then moved on and played for Southwark Pride for some years, and now gone on to other academies to finalise their, finish their basketball careers in this country. And Sam's off to Casper College, which is a great opportunity for him next year. And hopefully Reese is doing the same thing and moving on. But they both had really good seasons at their new academies.
Yeah, Reese yesterday winning the 3-point contest.
Great pass.
As Adebayo threads the needle to Barking Abbey teammate Nathaniel Powell. The advance pass, no good, but yeah, Reese Sondermalt getting that dub yesterday in the 3-point contest. And great to see Junior Williams here as well, supporting. Down on the baseline.
Supporting or maybe recruiting, you never know. You never know.
He's a coach, I mean, you're always doing both, right? We could say the same about Rob P. That's why he's here.
and that's what you want. You want young English guys. Whilst we want some guys going off to the States and chasing great opportunities, there are also guys we want to stay home and have an opportunity to play in our professional league and really elevate it over the next few years, because the league for the last few years has really come on strong again. Reminiscent of the... Wow.
Jonathan Brown. Fade away, step back. Shot clock ticking down, banks home the triple.
I was just saying, reminiscent of how the BBL was in the early 90s. It seems to be getting back to those stages with great coaches, Junior Williams and Rob Paternoster. So having young English guys come and represent their teams would be a great opportunity for these guys.
And I guess I'm coming from a biased standpoint in it, but the links that these BBL teams are building now with British universities makes it a viable option to play within a pathway where you have the opportunity to play BBL and still get a degree in this country where you're a little bit closer to home, and the level within the university competition is just continuing to rise as well. So that's only been a positive addition to the basketball pathway for young players in this country.
And the standard of education in this country is fantastic.
Adebayo has it right now for Team White. It's inside.
Great move.
Tough move. He has that ability as well to get into the paint and finish through contact really, really well. Brown floater with the left to answer his Barking Abbey teammate at the other end.
Seems like they're going at it, having a Barking Abbey competition of the guards.
Harris guarded by another Barking Abbey guard, Robin Bedford. Harris dump off pass, foul called. Foul is going to go on Robin Bedford. And then we've got subs for Team White as Pierce Maslen and Peter Torre come in. Joe Belak and Nathaniel Powell head out. And then Hosana Kitenge heads to the bench for Team Black as Wesley Ober comes in. And Wesley Ober and Pierce Maslen both playing out at Sun Live Academy in Portugal with Josh Merrington, who's a good friend of mine. And did their third year before then looking to commit to the States out at Sun Live Academy, and Wesley now committed to the uni of Show Falls. And Piers is looking around for a potential pro gig as well. So great to see that those two have had that opportunity to go and play in a different country in a different level of basketball. And
Josh is a great coach.
Yeah.
He moved on a couple of years ago after being successful winning the EABL title, and it just shows that if guys are coaching at the academy level or the club level, if they want to chase a career, there's good opportunities out there for them. And Sun Life seems to be providing good opportunities for for English kids in their third year, so great opportunity.
There's a shot from Matt Hughes of Itchen College there, but no good. And it comes to Maslen. Maslen threads the needle to Harris. Harris no good, and Toure is there to clean up the mess. Still a 5-point lead for Team White as they lead Team Black 13-8. Bedford into CJ Hayden. Hayden, no good, and rebounded by Maslen. Maslen threads the needle again to Toure. What a finish for Peter Toure. So it's a 7-point lead now for Team White. And then before you can get your prediction in, Jackson, my bet was going to be Team White before the game. I just want to get that out there early.
So I'm with Black again, I guess. I'll take Black. I coached Black yesterday. I'll take Black. And Black won the last game, so I'll go with Black.
Gordon drives baseline, turns it over, and we've got subs again as Patrick Lanipekun comes in, one of the guys that's played over at City of London Academy with you.
Patrick, tireless worker as well, really deserves to be in this game. Coley didn't have the greatest of seasons this year, but Patrick was a standout, and he did really well and showed great leadership qualities throughout the season. And his work ethic is tireless. He's always in the gym.
Okros has it for Team Black. Finds Hughes. Hughes steps out of bounds, and Team Black struggling to get into their offense at the moment. And Myerscough screaming out. You probably hear it on the stream. Screaming out a set, but it sounded like a variance of a set. Oba has it. Oba loses the handle. And another turnover for Team Black, and they're going to hurt.
Rob seems to be giving his team some freedom. He called a set play, one play, the next play down the floor. He was just like, move it and play, move it and play. It's good coaching.
Lanapeckin fades away off one, no good. Rebounded by Hughes, who advances to Okros. Okros up, misses the dunk. Niall Harris breathing down his neck. And Okros goes up and just misses the dunk. Those two, I was fortunate enough to join Will Maynard on the bench at the Harris tournament at Christmas time, which I've done now for 2 years. And I always love going up there and joining the Charnwood guys just for that tournament, to get in amongst some of the players in that program. And Niall Harris and Mate Okros had one of the battles, or best battles I've ever seen in a junior game, in that final, championship final. And it was just great to watch, great basketball.
Both fierce competitors.
Yeah.
Both very, very vast skill sets. They can do so much on the basketball court. And both guys that don't need to waste too much motion when they're playing. They're not guys that are going to cross you over 15 times and shoot step backs. They can do it if they want, but they're very efficient in their play.
Maslen throws it up. Throws it up to Abdul Worry there. But no good on the catch for Worry out of Oakland's College. His sole representative from Oakland's College today as well. And that would have been a highlight. But 9-point lead for Team White.
Great to see these guys coaching. They're up, they're coaching, they're giving guys instruction. It is an all-star game, but you can still teach within an all-star game. You can still help guys to understand what they're doing better on the floor. So really good to see them both doing that.
Jonathan Brown has it now for Team Black. Comes off the horn set. Brown trying to find Okros, and does. Hughes running off baseline screens. Out to Brown. Shot clock down to 7. Into Hayden.
Great
nice
offense.
move for CJ Hayden.
Great ball movement, great offense.
Lanapeckin now. Out to Worry from the top slot. Banks home the triple. And that lead is back out to 8 for Team White, as Okros has it. Guarded by Lanapeckin. Rob Panostra screaming no foul. Okros gets the 2 to go. Aaron Bedebo in the game for Team White. Just competed in the dunk contest previously. Reverses the ball through to Ray.
One thing about Aaron Bedebo that he could claim in this game, he averaged 30+ points per game in the ABL this season and had a 75-point game, which is just incredible. So many players will never be able to make that claim, and he can.
Rebound by Samuel Keita, comes out to Teray, ahead to Maslen, then to Bedebo. Bedebo up and finishes
what
it.
a break.
Great transition from Team White. Brown drives at Worry, blocked, rebounded by Bedebo, and White are out at the races again. Behind the back from Maslen to Bedebo. Bedebo thinks about the 3, step back, finds Worry. Worry goes at Brown, Euro step, no good on the finish. Teray again there to clean it up, but can't get the make.
What a frenetic pace this game's been played at.
Hughes for 3 at the other end, no good. Rebounded by Keita, no good. CJ Hayden has it. Finds Okros outside for free. Long on his attempt. Maslen ahead to Lanipekun, who just manages to catch it. Finds Worry. Worry goes up. Blocked and looks to the referees as if to say there was a lot of contact there. And it's such a frantic pace that we have just 8 seconds left in the first quarter. I mean, I've only just looked up and thought, wow, where's that time gone? 20-12 the lead for Team White. Into Lanipekun, shot clock turned off. He kicks it out to Badibo for free. No good. Worry battles after it, steps out of bounds. And 0.8 seconds will be enough time to catch and shoot for Team Black. And Bedford heaves one from the free throw line, short. So at the end of one, Team White is currently leading 20-12 against Team Black. What a speed though to start the game.
Yeah, all of the games have started at a really quick pace, but this one has started at a frenetic pace. They are literally going up and down, back and forth, non-stop. And Rob seems like he's got his team a little more fired up to begin the game, but you never know, there's a long way to go. And Black came back in the last game, so potentially we're looking at a long way to go before this gets finished.
So now halftime entertainment, quarter break entertainment is going to be what looks like a relay race between a couple of our spectators.
Spectator in a dress, which...
Yeah, especially if it's a relay race as well, you're being expected to beat your opponent down the court.
She must be confident. She must know something we don't know.
Yeah, this is very true. And Team Black are they've had that much of a short quarter break that they're back out on the floor. They're ready to go. But if you are checking in on this Hoopsfix live stream of the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic Class of 2019 game, I want to give you a big shout out for joining us on the stream, and also make sure that you're following us over on all of our social media channels by checking out @Hoopsfix, and then also let us know where and how you're watching the game using the hashtag HASC19, and give us a little shout out over there as well. And then we're also going to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors, and a thank you for supporting the event and allowing it to happen. So Nike, Molten, SportServe Limited, 506, ESPN Player, Let Me Play, and Always Ballin'. It's a big thank you to all of you guys. Rebound by Keita for Team Black off the miss from Badibo. Bedford advances to the corner. Hughes reverses through Kitenge. Okros now. Okros into Kitenge, loses the handle almost, but keeps a hold of it. Kitenge, big boy move against his former Charnwood teammate. As Keita comes up with it, Keita can't get the layup to go. And Team Black just can't take the lid off the basket at the moment. And after Worry turns it over. Okros advances to Kitenge. Kitenge finds Keita for the dunk, and that's exactly what Team Black needed.
Hosana again though, he's looking to create, which is great. Most players his size catch the ball in that area and try and go and dominate and finish themselves. And he can do that, but he's always looking to create for his teammates too.
Lanipekun pulls up, no good. Rebounded by Zach Blue Shakuri.
It means next time Sam Keita knows that he's on a fast break and Hosana's up front, he's going to run. Knows he'll be rewarded.
Yeah, definitely. And substitution for Team Black. There's Matt Hughes out of Itchen, heads to the bench, and Jonathan Brown from Barking Abbey comes back in. Lob thrown up to Badibo. No good. Shaguri no good on the drive. Ball rattling around a little bit. Bedford comes down with it. Okros, corner three, no good. Rebounded by Badibo. Flew in to grab that one.
3-point champion from yesterday, re-Sundermalt in the game.
And that one, way too much on it. Kitenge goes against Lanapeka, and he lost the handle. Looks at his hands. I think he got caught between wanting to dunk it and going for the highlight. And comes over to steal his Charnwood teammate Niall Harris's towel and wipe his hands, but I think he's just trying to find an excuse there.
You always love it when a player looks down at their hands like something changed the last time they looked at their hands.
We're in the line to shoot 2, no good on the first. And no good on the second. Rebound for Team Black, and missed the opportunity to extend that lead for Team White. Okros, tough take against Bilak. He just did enough to get his body in front, and then a foul called as everybody reached in from Samuel Keita.
Big Sam Keita has been relentless on the glass so far.
After Worry checks out, Milo Gordon coming back in for Team White. Keita at the line to shoot 2. Doesn't make the first. Keita leading all rebounders with 6 personal so far, as you were saying. Yeah, that's full force on the boards.
Really good season at Myerscough College. Managed to play in the EYBL finals,
yeah.
and just, you know, what a great experience that institution provided for their young players. So, yeah, Sam, like I said, came all the way from Kennington Generals all the way up, and now he's at Myerscough College and Casper College. So he's showing why today, leading the game in rebounds.
Kitenge there with the post touch and then fouled. So the M1, and will go to the line to add the bonus point to trim it down to, if he makes this, a single possession game, which early on it looked like Team White were going to run away with it, but we should know by now that in this sort of game it's going to be back and forth, and neither team ever really blows the other out. No. I don't think I've ever been to a classic where it's not been evenly matched throughout.
No, we can safely say this will go down to the wire.
Adebayo has it for Team White, uses the screen from Shiguri, and the ball flung out of bounds and almost passed to us here on the scorer's table. Bedford inbounds to Brown. Off the horn set, kicks out to Okros. Okros, plenty of time and space, and he's not going to miss with that much time.
That's just good basketball. You see the ball screen going in the opposite direction. Mate lifted out of the corner. Maybe a set play, you never know, but just his IQ would have told him that he needs to be in that position. Great pass by Sam.
Keita finds Brown into Kitenge, who's fouled again. And at 20 apiece, with Kitenge heading to the free throw line, Team Black have the opportunity to take their first lead of the game. But as the underclassmen game from before showed, Team White led pretty much the majority of the way. And then the final 3 minutes, Team Black just out of nowhere went on an absolute tear.
Big swing, yeah, in that game. It's just happened earlier in this game so far. It was 8-0 run, I think, at this moment in time.
Kitenge misses the first, makes the second, and it's a 1-point lead for Team Black. Gordon has it now. Reverses through Shiguri. Sends off to Sundermalt. Sundermalt crossover, no good. Bedford takes it, finds Keita for the easy two-handed dunk. And head coach Rob Paternoster will take a timeout for his team, and they trail by 3 here at the Brixton Rec for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic Class of 2019 game.
And I hope they caught Big Sam Keita's reaction on the camera just now after that dunk. If you wondered if these guys really care about this game, he just let out a huge let's go after dunking the ball, and all of his teammates rallied around him too. So you know that this means everything to these young guys today to be able to take home bragging rights for the next 12 months.
And the score, as we were saying, 23-20 for Team Black, which forced head coach Rob Paternostro into that timeout for Team White, and he'll draw something up to get them a score out of the break. And looking at the stats across the board as well. Early leaders on the points. Hosanna Kitenge with 7 for Team Black. Joe Bilak with 5 for Team White. Kitenge also has... Keita has 4 points and 6 rebounds. Big performance in the early going, because he's probably really been on the floor for 5 or 6 minutes. The Team White to get us back underway out of the timeout. Ball in the hands of Adebayo from Barking Abbey. Finds Gordon. Gordon slash it to the basket. Tries the lefty finish, can't get it to go. Adebayo was MVP in last year's Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, actually in the underclassmen game, and is UC Davies bound for next season, and had another phenomenal year with Barking.
He's going to go and join Caleb Fuller next year, and UC Davis just outside Sacramento is a beautiful school. Big West is a great league. Ade would do really well in that league and be able to play and contribute early, we hope. But he's such a skilled big guard. Can just do a multitude of things. And I remember when he first arrived at Barking Abbey, Lloyd Gardner and I spoke, and Lloyd said, I'm blown away by how mature this kid is and how coachable he is. So he's really worked hard to earn it. I remember Ade as a 13-year-old kid. He used to be one of the young volunteers at Platanos College that used to help referee whilst he played, and look what he's grown up into. So, good young man.
Okros has it for Team Black after the score from Joe Bilak, leading Team White with 7 points. Inside to CJ Hayden. Sundermalt takes it. Advances to Adebayo. Adebayo almost loses the handle. Finds Shiguri, no good on the lefty layup, and it's rebounded by Wesley Ober. And that's a gasp for a second there. The ball just bounced over the MVP trophy for this game and missed it by about an inch. And there are some rather fine-looking trophies that Sam Nita has pulled together from Hoopsfix for the winners of the MVP awards and the dunk contest and the three-point contest. And great to recognise some of the individuals that really show out across the course of the weekend as well. Team White have it now in the hands of Niall Harris. Harris, with that constant speed, then there's a really short change of speed with Niall. It's not like it's an explosion. But his just ability to change direction and speed and get the defender off balance a little bit opens up so much space for him. He's really good at doing that and getting to the basket.
Got a really simple, straightforward game. Doesn't waste too much energy. Very efficient, but knows where he wants to get on the floor, as you said. And then the change of speed, it's just subtle. But whilst it's subtle, he just moves through the gears to just accelerate away from people. Really good skill set. Great talent.
Bedford now for Team Black on the ball, guarded by Harris. And the pass almost picked off by Bilak. Shot clock down to 7. Bilak steps off Brown. Brown crosses over, tries to find Ober in the corner. Shot clock down to 2. Hook shot, gets it to go. And I don't think he knew about the shot clock expiring, but he made it anyway. And Team Black retake the lead by 1. Harris has it. Nice pass to Powell, who's wide open under the basket. Ahead to Hughes. Hughes blocked by Gordon. And Milo Gordon on the defensive end has impressed me massively so far.
I think these guys, as we discussed with the 2 previous games, they're just coming out and just playing defense at the best way they know how. Nobody wants to be embarrassed, and they want to win this game.
Hughes, skip past to Bedford, just has a little bit too much on it and goes out of bounds.
The energy of these 2 coaches is fantastic.
Yeah.
They're both working the sidelines, they're working the benches, and their team's really, really good.
Harris into Adebayo. Team White up 1, 4:17 remaining in the game. Adebayo uses the screen from his Barking Abbey teammate, Powell, but can't get it to go. That was a Barking Abbey ball screen with a Barking Abbey player defending it there. I'm sure Lloyd Gardner sat in here somewhere with a little smile on his face to see so many of his players involved in the game. No good for Hughes. Rebound from Ober into Bedford, and Bedford takes a load of contact from Milo Gordon. So Bedford will head to the line to shoot 2. Bedford making his 2nd appearance at the Classic, actually, off the back of averaging 10.2 points a game at Barking Abbey this year. Another solid season for the ex-England under 16 and 17.
They have so many players at Barking as well. Tough to average big numbers there. You've got so many talented guys around you, but you can see all across the board his numbers are solid, and he's really, really efficient, good basketball player. Shoots the ball so well. Just right on cue, misses the free throw.
Gordon rebounds the miss. Gordon looking to go coast to coast, has to kick it out, finds Adebayo. Harris at the top for 3, misses wide right, and it's rebounded by Kitenge. Okros into Samuel Keita, manages to evade all of the defenders for Team White, get a shot up, but a foul called on Niall Harris. Subs for Team White as Peter Teray coming into the game. Nathaniel Powell heads out. Peter Teray, another player who I have a lot of time for his game. I had the good fortune of coaching him at Den Camp this past summer. Been at Itchen for the past year and also committed to Lamar Community College. A big year of 16 points and 9 rebounds per game. And his game's come on leaps and bounds, having seen him at the end of the season from where he was in the summer as well. He's definitely put in the work.
Yeah, Peter's very, very skilled in and around the basket. He's got a good mid-range jump shot, but he's just so physical in and around the basket. Underrated player, got great length, and Matt Guyman and Jack O'Keefe did a fantastic job developing him this season down at Itchen. He had a really, really dominant season in the EABL. So, you know, great talent, and he'll go on to Lamar Community College. We actually had a former GB international, Ogo Adebayo, who went to that school, and Jabril, who's going off to Montana State next year, was also at Lamar. So they've got a good pedigree for developing English kids and sending them on to good places afterwards. So yeah, exciting times for Peter, and really nice kid, well deserved.
And finishing all EABL second team in the South as well, just to cap off that phenomenal year for Peter. But back here at the Classic, it's 26 apiece. Okros has the ball for Team Black. There's Bedford in the corner. Bedford has to readjust the shot. Gordon comes up with it. Gordon has it. Gordon's going to go all the way at Kitenge. Can't get the lefty finish. Tries to tip in the rebound. No good there. And I tell you what's surprised me so far, and it shouldn't have done really, but the defensive intensity of both of these teams. It's 26 apiece, and we're almost at the end of the second quarter. And neither team is giving an inch to the other, and they're making them work for any and every bucket that they can get. As we have a timeout for Team Black.
I think at this age as well, these guys are a little bit older. They probably know each other a little bit better. They've been around each other 4 or 5 years, you know, through the national team stuff and the elite leagues and club basketball. Bragging rights a little bit higher at this level now than maybe the girls' game yesterday and the underclassmen game, because they all know each other so well. Nobody wants to lose to their friends.
They don't indeed, and these guys will have, like you said, have been competing against each other for multiple years now and will know each other's games inside out. They will have scouted. Like, that's one of the things I think that's been a great introduction through the EABL is just the importance of all of those games, that teams are now scouting and preparing in a much more structured way, when previously it was probably only the top tier programs that will have done that. And so they're going to know tendencies of players, they're going to know ins and outs of each other's games.
6 or 7 years ago, club basketball, you would have to call or, you know, speak to a rival of one of the teams you're playing against for them to send you over game tape, and it was not always the easiest. People wouldn't want to share it, and now everything has to get uploaded to Crossover. You can scout and you can game plan as much as you want, and it's all readily available. So I think it's raised the level of coaching in the last few years.
As indeed, and we've got a turnover there as the inbound just has a little bit too much on it for Bedford and loses the handle on the catch. So White will get the ball in the front court. Toure to inbound. Gets it into Harris. Harris finds Gordon. Right to Harris. To Toure on the pick and roll. Toure, tough move inside, no good. And there's Milo Gordon with the tip to give Team White a 2-point lead. Kitenge shaking and baking against Toure. Fades away off one, no good. Rebounded by Gordon. Gordon to Harris. Harris trying to find Adebayo. That's a tough pass to make as well. And just couldn't quite get the angle right. And Rob Paternoster stopping Niall Harris as he walked off the court there. Point guard to point guard, just to give him a couple of pointers. And I know Niall's been in with the BBL team practices at certain points throughout this year as well, which has been massive for his development as a player, to be able to battle it out with guys that have played at Division 1 over in the States that are now pros, so it's their job. They carry themselves and train in a very different way.
And also a guy like Connor Washington, who's gone the other route, who's come up through the system over here with formerly Milton Keynes Lions and then moved across to Leicester Riders, and has also played internationally and come back. So good to have young Harris around those types of guys and be coached by, as you said, somebody who played the position in Rob, who was successful for many years in the BBL. So he's got a wealth of knowledge available to him, and hopefully he takes advantage of it.
Brown at the line, splits a pair of free throws. And we've got another dead ball turnover, this time for Team White. Some sloppy play just creeping in ever so slightly to the game now. I don't want to put them on blast a little bit for the turnovers as Okros drills the three to give Team Black the lead, but it's an all-star game. There are going to be turnovers throughout the game, but we have 23 total so far. I mean, if we could have a couple less than that, then that would be ideal. 14 for Team White. They are trying to make the highlight play at times, though. There's a couple of lobs where passes have gone awry, and it's just a timing thing, like we were saying in the game previously.
And as experienced as they are, and these guys are slightly older than the two previous games, what you have to factor in is nerves are going to become a part of it. They're young, they're in this gym, it's hot in here, and you know, you've got a ton of spectators looking around, you know, waiting for spectacular plays. You don't want to be on the receiving end of the wrong type of play. So
Brown has it for Team Black to Kitenge. Okros comes off the screen, finds Hughes. Hughes, nice pass inside to Kitenge. And he's called a foul. I thought Hosana traveled there. but a foul is called and Kitenge will go back to the free throw line.
It's interesting when you see all of these guys close up. You spend the season watching highlights, or maybe passing them in somebody else's gym, or you go into their gym when the boys are just finishing playing. Pete Torre is a big kid, but he's standing next to Hosana Kitenge, and there is a distinct difference in size between the two of them. Hosana is absolutely massive and moves so well for such a big guy.
Yeah, listed at 6'8", which I think is probably about right for Hosana. He's played the 5 spot in the EABL and throws over at Loughborough as well this season and done a phenomenal job at the 5, but I think his future definitely lies at the 4 position in college. He's committed to Coastal Carolina for next season, and I think they're excited to get him there and maximize his playmaking from the 4 spot. And he has started to add the 3-point game and stretched his jump shot out of the 3-point line a little bit, and the more that he can do that, the more it opens up his passing game. And I think for him, he can almost model his game on a bit of a Draymond Green type, where he's a do-it-all, can play the 4 position, can guard maybe the 3, 4, 5, and that would be big for him as he lines up the 3 but doesn't get that one to go.
He certainly has a lot of intangibles that when he first walks into a gym, somebody might say, as you said earlier, they just want to stick the big kid inside, but he could do so much more than that. Oh, Adebayo.
Advanced pass from Kitenge to Okros, who went up for the layup, and Adebayo didn't give up on the play, sprinting all the way back, but goaltend was the call. And that would have been the last possession of the half. So Team Black head into the halftime break, leading 34-31 over Team White. We're going to take a short couple of minute break before we then head into our halftime interviews. So make sure that you don't go anywhere.
I'm now live courtside at the Brixton Rec with Pops Mensa-Bonsu, former GB international and legend of the British game, and now general manager over at the Capital City Go-Go as part of the Washington Wizards program in the NBA. So thank you for joining us and coming out and speaking to us today, and for being here at the Classic. What's your views on the Classic so far and the talent that we're seeing out on the floor?
I get a feeling of nostalgia when I come here. Obviously Brixton Rec means a lot to me with the Rough and Ready Classic, and I kind of feel like a lot of players got their start here, and to come back and see the next generation still playing in this arena and seeing the fan support and just seeing the game being continued, it's a big deal, and I'm always, it warms my heart to see.
And you've transitioned from player into general manager as well. How's that transition been for you, and what's the sort of things that you found and you can now see in the NBA game and in the American game that could translate across to the British game?
Well, that's the reason why I did it. I probably could have played a few more years, but I realized my impact on the game was going to be bigger on the front office side. And I always told myself, if I could put myself in a position where I could determine guys' future, then I could come back here and do the same. So I see a lot of guys here who have potential to one day be NBA players or G League players, and if I'm in the position to grant those wishes, I want to be able to do so.
All right, so are there any players in particular that you've seen here that are really standing out? Any of the guys that you know?
A couple. I still want to see the second half. There's still a couple guys gauging my interest, but like I said, it's always good to see the talent and seeing how far the game has come and where it's going. So it's a pleasure.
And if you could give these guys that are out on the floor, because a lot of them are going to head off after this game to scholarships in the States, and then they want to aspire to a similar sort of career that you've had and that you've been through, and you've gone and kind of blazed that trail almost for some of these young guys that they don't really know how easy they've got it now compared to some of the barriers that you guys playing in Great Britain had to break down before. So what would be the advice that you give to some of these guys?
Man, we have 2 ears and 2 eyes for a reason. You know, listen and learn. Look, listen and learn. And, you know, always, that's why guys like myself, Luau, all these other guys that came before them are here. You know, I'll give all these guys my number, email, whatever they want to lean on me, because what I did was try to pave the way for them so they didn't have to go through some of the struggles that we did. So I always say, let my testimony be your test. So hopefully their path to success is going to be a lot easier than ours was. And, you know, like I said, just keep building the game, and hopefully we'll be talking about a few of these guys in the future.
And we really appreciate you coming out. We really appreciate you supporting the Classic. I know it means a lot to you to be here in Brixton as well, so thank you for taking the time. We're going to take a short couple-of-minute break, and then we'll be back, hopefully with Jelani, Watson-Gale, alumni from the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. All right, back again, courtside, this time with Jelani, Watson-Gale, Hoopsfix alumni. What's it like being back at the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic?
Honestly, it's good to be here. It's good to see that all the young talent still in our country. Honestly, I was surprised by the first game. Yeah, I'm really surprised, but it's making me want to play in another one.
And you've been out in the States this past season. How's your season been? Give us a little bit of a recap on like the learning curve that you're going through being out in the States and how you're finding it all out there.
Well, personally, this year I was inconsistent. Like, as a team, we done well, but me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Brixton Rec for second half action in the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. And Team Black are currently leading Team White 34 to 31. Looking at the tail of the tape across half-time, Okros leading all scorers with 10 points. To go along with 4 rebounds. Keita leading all rebounders with 8. And on the opposite side for Team White, Joe Belak leading them with 7 points. So no one really jumping out so far as a leading scorer or MVP candidate, but 20 minutes of basketball is a long way to play.
Yeah, it was a scrappy first half, a little bit more scrappy than the underclassmen game. Hoping they tighten it up here in the second half. Jonathan Brown coming out at 4 assists leading the game. Hopefully he helps Team Black get off to a strong start, as that's my bet.
Hughes head fake up and under, no good on the jump shot. Gets his own rebound, blocked by Shiguri. Hayden inside, no good there. And Adebayo has it for Team White. And turnover again. So not the best start in the first 30 seconds. Still, as we were saying, a long, long way to go. Brown has it for Team Black. He loses the handle. Harris now for Team White. Guarded by Okros. Saying first off, those two have had many a battle this season. Have to worry. Back to Harris. Again, back to Worry inside. And then Worry turns it over. There's a lot of contact out there, though, and they're all looking to the referees. But actually, you're in the roughhouse. You should expect that the refereeing will be along these lines.
The roughhouse of fun and dunk. In fact, Freddie M used to be the compere at Brixton Top Cats, and that's what he would call it, the roughhouse of fun and dunking. We need a couple more dunks in this game, I feel.
Harris the free. Good, nothing but net for Niall Harris, and we're tied up at 34 apiece. Hughes with the Euro step to answer at the other end.
I mean this in the best possible way. This is definitely not a slight, it's a compliment, but now Harris has old man game.
Oh, 100%.
He just knows how to play the game of basketball. So savvy.
Well, you'd expect that when your dad is Dave Harris.
Yes.
I mean, BBL legend, both player and coach.
Sometimes it doesn't filter down, though. Sometimes players don't necessarily understand it. The second generation comes back more athletic, but not with the knowledge. But he's just so savvy with his IQ. He just understands everything that's going on. He's almost dissecting a game, waiting. You know, you see something on one play, maybe doesn't go for it right away, but we'll come back to it later on. It's just a savvy basketball player.
Yeah, interesting little tidbit. Dave Harris was actually my first basketball coach.
Oh, wow.
And then I ended up coaching his son. So, I mean, funny how these sorts of events turn out, really. Over inside, finds Hayden. There's Harris to strip it. Dives out of bounds to keep it in play. What a play by Niall Harris. Adebayo has it, finds Sundermolt into Shiguri, going at Hayden, up and under. Foul called on Conroy Hayden. So Shiguri at the line to shoot 2. Good on the first. Shiguri actually committed to University of Southern Arkansas for next season, doing his debut in the Classic. So after playing a year in Portugal with Josh Merrington, he's then back for the Classic and then heading off to Arkansas, where I'm sure they're excited to get him on board.
Underrated part of America too, really beautiful part of the country. More to do than people would imagine, and so he'll have a good time down there.
Harris finds Sundermolt, just evades Jonathan Brown, who came flying in for the block, but couldn't get up in time. And it's in the hands of Okros. Okros into Hayden!
Huge dunks. Again, Okros, another smart player, uses basketball IQ. It's not just all about athleticism, really thinking and processing every time he's got the ball in his hands. And as you said before, you know, those two seem to have been going at it all season now, whether it be the Harris tournament or, you know, in the EABL. It just seemed to naturally bring out the best in each other.
And Division 3 last season. I was fortunate again to have coached Niall last year in Division 3 before he made the jump up to Division 1 this year, and had to deal with Mate twice and that Myerscough team. And I mean, they would battle all the way in those games as well. So it's been a couple of years in the making. It felt like it came to a head at that Harris tournament, which was just phenomenal. And big shout out to all the guys at Harris tournament who continue to put on a fantastic event for junior basketball. And hopefully at some point we can get a women's version of the Harris tournament going as well.
Well, they have the Maggie Forber event every summer up in Manchester.
They do indeed,
as well.
Yeah, they do, you're right.
It's another really well-run event by Manchester Mystics organisation. Now Harris and Okros bear similarities to Tyson Holyfield and Ali Fraser and all of the guys that brought the best out of each other. And in our basketball circles, maybe not nationally or internationally recognized, but in our basketball circles, they have huge names like that, the two of them. They're very well respected.
And I'd love to see Niall finally get an opportunity with national teams. He's never really had an opportunity to showcase what he can do on a national team level, and I think with the 20s this year, he'll probably get a shot, and there's almost an opportunity for him and Mate to be lining up together, which would be interesting.
I don't see how he wouldn't help and he wouldn't be a positive player. Like, he's really positive, good young player, great IQ and great skill set. Underrated athlete, I feel, too.
Harris checks out. Oh no, sorry. I'm still in the game. Hosanna Kitenge, who's checking in for Team Black. CJ Hayden heading to the bench. Abdul-Wari at the line. And extends the lead to 2 for Team White. And then 2 more substitutions for Team White as Reece Sundermold and Zach Blue Shiguri head out. And Joe Belak and Milo Gordon come into the game.
Is this the first time we've seen Elias Poorman? Was he on earlier on?
This is the first time, yeah, you're right.
London United player, really solid season in the EABL this year. One of the better point guards in the league.
Yeah, he was Southern Conference All-First Team in the ABL this year, and was actually Defensive Player of the Year and All-First Team in the ABL 2 seasons ago.
Wow.
So plenty of individual accolades as well. Harris on the ball for Team White. Harris finds Worry! Pick and roll to perfection between Niall Harris and Abdul-Wari as Team White retake the lead 42-40.
This goes back to the IQ stuff. Great pass by Hosana.
Belak goes behind the back, beats his defender, finds Milo Gordon, slowing the pace down ever so slightly. Gordon goes at Kitenge, who blocks it. And Belak can't quite keep it in bounds. And Nathaniel Powell checks in for Team White as Abdul-Wari heads to the bench. Nathaniel Powell making his second appearance at Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. Relatively successful year for him again at Barking Abbey. 9.6 points, 7.2 rebounds. Giving Kitenge all the space on the three-point line that time and then smothering him in the paint. And it means Team White come up with a stop with Adebayo advancing to Harris. Harris, nice pass inside. And Nathaniel Power with the easy 2.
Now Harris is really starting to stamp his authority on the game and show his class. Making some great passes the last couple of plays down. Causing problems, getting in the lane.
It's going to be a baseline ball. Bedford to inbound. Can't get it to Kitenge. Tipped away by Maslen. Maslen turns it over though. Almost turns it over. Okros has it outside from range. It's good for Mate Okros.
Should be shooting 55% from 3 during the EABL season. Great shooter.
And that was on 2 for 4 a game as an average. Which it's not like he took a couple of shots all season long and then that was it. Yeah, just looking at the stats there, as you were saying, Niall Harris, 11 points personal. Shooting 4 for 5 from the field. Goes with 3 rebounds and 4 assists. And that's the first time we've seen one of the girls have her hands up on the baseline to catch the turnover. We've had a couple of suspect passes thrown and people in the crowd just haven't been ready. I remember I used to play for Dave Greenaway, and if you didn't have your hands up, he'd throw the pass to you anyway. And there's a lot of times you take a ball to the face or to the chest that you just weren't expecting.
Aim for the head. He'll force someone to catch the ball.
Adebayo gets to the basket, fouled, no good, but will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Foul's going to go on number 8 for Team Black. That's Robin Bedford.
Everything good?
We've got Roger Hosana in the house. Did a Hoopsfix podcast with Sam a few months ago and shared his story. And one of the great people to set up basketball in London over the years. He's used to run Battle of the Boards. He was part of the Rough and Ready tournament, and great to see him down here today. His brother Simon is presenting, but Roger had a big part to play in summer basketball in years past, and his Hosanna brand is arguably, biggest UK brand so far that we've ever had. So really good to have him down.
Yeah, great. And my old man actually used to have a basketball store up in Leicester, and they'd stock the Hosanna gear as well. So it was successful, as you say. I mean, it shows you all the different links that are actually in the British basketball community and all the stories that people are able to tell. That hopefully a load of these guys that are competing today out on the floor will, 10, 15 years time, they'll still be talking about some of the things like the Classic. Like we still talk about some of the things that were big parts of both our basketball journeys in the past as well.
The difference will be the Classic will still be going then.
Yeah, this is very true.
We'll still have it. Hopefully there'll be no more gaps in the British summer.
Belak outside, shot clock down to 10. Belak pulls up at the elbow, no good with the 2. Rebound rattling around.
We also have Matthew Ryder in here, who's one of the other organisers of Rough and Ready as well. And so these guys must come down and feel proud that summer basketball is at this stage right now. They're almost the pioneers, 20-odd years ago, and now they're back and they're coming and watching the spectacle in the same arena with, things slightly advanced as the years have moved past. And so really good for them to see, Sam keeping on the summer basketball mantle that they started so many years ago.
Yeah, there is just so much history and heritage, both from a British basketball standpoint, but from a culture standpoint as well in this gym. And it is a real privilege to come down here and be able to just be a small part of it and bring it to the wider masses as part of the stream every year. So we hope that all of you that are at home and tuning in are thoroughly enjoying the game and show your support in future years as well, and are able to come down and be a part of it, because it is definitely the standout event in the British basketball calendar for me.
And the Rec is something that is not just dear to Brixton Top Cats players. There's a famous scrimmage here on a Wednesday night for the last 30-odd years that so many players have been down to, not just London guys, but players from all over the country will travel to come and be a part of the scrimmage. There's been so many events held here. A lot of guys.
Keita, sorry there, Keita. That was straight past Maslen, and that's a big time dunk.
Huge dunk. Moves him to 8 points too, 8 points personal.
Sorry, Jackson, that one out of nowhere for Samuel Keita. Belak, another three, and good again. Joe Belak is a lights-out shooter
Really
from the
is.
long range. And still yet to commit anywhere for next season as well.
Surprising, really talented, and one thing they're always looking for in the States and in Bucks, you're always looking for shooters. You want people that can stretch the defense and force, you know, give you an opportunity to be able to play inside by stretching the defense. It just, I'm surprised someone hasn't picked him up yet. Really talented player.
And his three ties us up at 49 apiece. 1:24 remaining in the third quarter here at the Brixton Rec. Just 11.5 minutes of Hoopsfix All-Star Classic basketball remaining. Kitenge to inbound from the baseline for Team Black. Can't get it in, it's kick ball. Just looking at the stats across the board as well. Interestingly for Team Black, no Arinze Emeka-Anyakwo today either. He's out injured.
Great drive. Great drive and finish, Team Black. Wesley over.
Almost stripped away by Bedford. So yeah, Team Black playing with just 10 players today. Team White on the other end, featuring all 12. Keita finds Poorman. Kitenge hands off to Bedford. Looking inside to Wesley Oba, although guarded pretty well by Patrick Lanapekun. Bedford steps back for two, no good. 5 bodies battling for the rebound. Lanapekun comes up with it and advances to Maslen. Maslen finds Powell, Euro step, left-handed finish. Nice finish by the big man.
Great finish, great body control, and finish with the left too.
Bedford has it now, comes off the screen from Keita. Poorman out on the perimeter. Poorman throw hop into the contact. Finds Kitenge backing down against Powell to the left hand. No good on the finish. And Team White have the ball, 51 apiece, 8 seconds left in the quarter. Lanapekun finds Ture, blocked by Kitenge. And it's out of bounds, so 1.7 seconds. It'll be a Team White possession, no timeout from Rob Paternostro. Lanapekun can't get it in, no time off the clock. Belak comes for it. Sorry, Maslen comes for it, catches, no good. Lanapekun catch a shoot, that doesn't go. And at the end of 3, we are all tied up at 51 apiece, which means that the last 10 minutes is all to play for. And taking a look through some of the stats, leaders for Team Black. Hosana Kitenge with 11 points, 5 rebounds. Samuel Keita with 8 points, 10 rebounds. And then Okros with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And then down at the other end, Niall Harris setting the pace for his team. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Joined by his Charnwood teammate, Joe Belak, on the efficiency rating, who has 10 points, shooting 4 for 5 from the field. For some relatively big but low-key at the same time performances.
And the good news is it's still a tight game. We haven't had a blowout yet, and it doesn't look like we will do. Good opportunity for us to have a good close for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it really is. And we're going to take this last quarter break opportunity to thank all of our sponsors once more for their ongoing support of the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. So, huge thank you to Nike, Molten, Sportserve Limited, 5 or 6, ESPN player, Let Me Play, and Always Ballin'. And And without Hughes' support, today just wouldn't be able to happen. And then also, whilst they're all here in the rec, it's a big thank you to everyone who's reached out and bought tickets to attend the game as well, because that's a huge help for Sam and those that are able to foot some of the smaller costs then. Those tickets don't even cover a portion of the cost for the event, and their ability to be able to stream it out to the wider population as well. So a big thank you to everybody that's in the gym. And a couple of people there battling for a freebie, falling on top of each other in the stands. So we are underway in fourth quarter action at the Brixton Rec, with Team White having the opening possession, the ball in the hands of Piers Maslen. Penetrates, finds Teray. Teray nowhere to go. Somehow manages to squeeze a shot off. Comes out to Bedford on the rebound. His lefty layup doesn't go. And there's Teray cleaning up the mess once more. Poorman attacks Lanipekun. Rebounded by Gordon. Into the hands of Patrick Lanipekun. Finds Teray. Teray, mid-range, no good. Kitenge gathers the rebound. Ahead to Hughes. Hughes, blocked. Oh, and a foul is called. And both Teray and Bedford went up to go and block that. And I don't actually know who they've called the foul on there. I thought he said 25, but we don't have a 25 on the court. Maybe it was Peter Teray, 24. Yeah. It might have gone up here. Team Black, through Matt Hughes of Itchen College, had the opportunity to tie, didn't. Rebound comes out to Ober. That's a big boy move by Wesley Ober in the paint.
Hosana's down the other end, flexing his muscles. Knows that that's a big, big man move right there. Just moved him off the spot.
Maslen, guarded by Hughes now. Maslen, the free. Yeah, it's a 2-point lead for Team White, and this is going to be back and forth as the game continues. Now, we've not actually talked about Matt Hughes that much yet, but helped Itchen to the second best record in the South Conference of the EABL, and made the All EABL second team last year, second appearance in the Classic, another big year for him over at Itchen College.
Yeah, he burned Kohler a couple of times this year with some really good performances. Boys have got a lot of respect for him. He doesn't make a lot of noise whilst he's doing it. He's a fairly quiet, workman-like performances, but he can shoot the ball and he's savvy, understands how to score as well.
Nice offhand finish by Wesley Ober. Right hand, left hand, right foot finish. Is Maslen feeling it from three now? No good though. And Kitenge gathers the rebound, playing the point guard position, crosses over against Lanipekun, and foul called. So again, it's going to be a Black possession from the sideline. Jonathan Brown has it. Plenty of time on the shot clock for him to find a good look. Finds Wesley Ober. CJ Hayden calling for it inside as Ober forces a shot up. And Bedford gathers the rebound for White. Ahead to Teray. Teray almost loses the handle, crashes into his Itchen teammate. And Zach Chaguri can't keep it in play. And it's up for Team Black as Hosanna Kitenge checks out. Samuel Keita coming back in.
Around about this time, we've got to start deciding who making our tips on MVP.
Yeah.
7 minutes to go. I've got Team Black, so I'm going to have to go with someone from Team Black.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, there's been multiple strong performances, but no real standout for me.
Wesley Ober has really come on in the second half, and he's on 10 points and 7 rebounds. And then Mate's out there with 13 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. So they would be my 2 bets. I'm actually going to go with Wesley. Judging by my performance this weekend, probably won't go in that direction, but I hope it does. It seems like a hard-working kid.
Yeah, on the flip side, Team White, without me sounding biased, I can't really look much further than Niall Harris at this stage. Jonathan Brown, big take and comes down hard, but straight back up, hobbled a little bit. It looked like he fell on his hip. But he looks to be like, although it's going to be a bit of a bruise in the morning, he looks like he's going to be okay. Yeah, for me, Niall Harris, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Only missed 1 shot from the field. Can't really go much further than that for him. There's fingerprints all over the game, and he's done that in just 9 minutes of action.
Wow.
Feels like he's been out there a ton more than that. But back on the floor now, and I'd expect him to see out the rest of the game. Toure, big rebound, finds Adebayo. Adebayo crosses, pulls up for deep, no good. And Toure and Hayden smash into each other. That's 2 big boys. Clash of the Titans. And the ball goes out of bounds for a black possession.
Bounced off each other and jumped up and get back down the other end and get back to war again. Sam Keita's quietly had a good game as well. Not too sure how well he's doing over on the overall stats, but I think he's got 8 points, 10 rebounds along those lines. So strong showing.
Adebayo comes up with a loose ball, swarmed by Keita and Brown. Somehow manages to break the double team. Ball trickles to Toure. Toure goes baseline. Nice move, Keita Toure. And Team White again back in the lead by 1. Both teams exchanging blows with just under 6 minutes left to play in the 2019 Hoopsfix All-Star Classic. Okros into CJ Hayden. Wesley Ober, 2 long strides, finds Hayden, and Team Black retake the lead. Adebayo has it now for White. Drive slips, and that looked painful. And he's holding his hip. A bit of sweat on the floor that he slipped on.
Yeah, 4 could have been nasty. It looks like he's okay. Tough kid, Addy. He's got a huge scratch on his arm as well, and it's not complaining about it, just getting on with it. Great.
So Harris to inbound for Team White. Adebayo almost wide open. Harris gets it into Powell, out to Belak. Belak thought about the 3, wants the foul, but that's when your Charnwood College teammate Hosana Kitenge knows the scout, and Belak not even talking to Hosana there. And he knew the scout and where he wanted to go. Head fake wants to go right, so he didn't give him the opportunity to.
Yeah, I think Hosana was having some friendly teammate banter. Belak didn't look like he wanted any part of it today.
The family ties do not exist in the Charnwood College boys when they're competing against each other. Gordon gets his own rebound off the miss, but blocked by Ober. Kitenge advances to Brown. Brown finds Okros. Okros for 3. It's good. And that's a 4-point lead now for Team Black.
There's your MVP bet. Oh, it's my MVP. It wasn't. I went against him, didn't I?
Yeah,
I went against him. I went with Wesley Ober.
And I'm going to hold it against you for the rest of the game.
I won't take it back just yet. If it gets under 2 minutes, then I might have to switch. But no, I'm confident Wesley's going to come back and finish the game well. But big shot by Mate to get the 4-point spread.
Ethan Brown with the ball now for Team Black. Penetrates, almost flushes it home. We can't quite give him the dunk on that one, and Rob Paternostro is going to take a timeout with Team Black extending their lead to 6. That was a left-hand, like off-hand finish for JB there.
We haven't seen a lead like this since the first quarter with anybody go out by more than a couple of points. So
that's a very good point, yeah. But do you remember the underclassmen game? What happened when Team White went up by 6 or 7?
Yeah.
And then Team Black came back out of nowhere and ended up winning by, what was it, at the end, 9 or 10 points they won by at the end.
Puff of the cheeks from James Veer.
Looking relatively relaxed in his assistant coach role today as well. Heading out as well this summer with the GB's under-16 boys. So 64 to 58, 4 minutes 23 left to play in the game. Team White out of their timeout after Team Black went on, well, I think it was a 7-2 run over the last couple of minutes. And they're going to be looking to try and find some form of answer in this next play. 5 on the floor for Team White: Niall Harris, Joe Belak, Nathaniel Powell, Adi Adebayo and Milo Gordon. And that was the 5 that started the game, so Rob Paternostro, now his competitive streak coming out. Gordon gets inside, load of contact. And you can probably hear Paternostro in front of us screaming at the referees for a foul. He's in the ref's ear as well. That's where that competitive nature it can't leave you.
You can't dull that light. If you're competitive, you're competitive. And he's it's an all-star game, so he set himself down to just relax himself, I think. But just got to stop, and he's straight back up again. So
shot clock violation, and he's up clapping and applauding his team. And anyone that watches the BBL regularly will know what he's like on the sideline. And his passion for the game and his competitive nature it always shines through, and you almost get lost watching him on the sidelines.
Hopefully he can will Team White back into this, make it a closer game going into the last minute.
Harris has it, he's fouled, and the basket is good. And a foul is called, number 18. That's Samuel Keita. So Niall Harris will go to the line for the bonus point. And Steve Hansel says, yep, I'll take a timeout to answer that one.
Rob Paternostro, just as his boys ran into the timeout, he said, we got him, we got him, we got him. It's confidence right there.
So 64 to 63, 38 left on the game clock. And looking around the place, everybody patiently waiting, I think, for one last highlight. I said this in the last game. I was like, I feel like there's one more highlight play left in this game. And then there were 4 more. So, I mean, I'm hoping we've got a couple more highlight plays from the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic here at the Brixton Rec.
The crowd is still engaged, still interested, still up and down every time there's a big play. So hopefully we get another 3 minutes and 38 of great action. Get to see a couple more lead changes would be nice.
It would indeed, and I would personally love it to come down to the final play. I would love a game where we're late shot clock and just mano a mano.
Buzzer beater would be nice.
We shall see. Can Team White trim this lead? Niall Harris at the free throw line to shoot one more. Kitenge screaming and shouting as his Charnwood teammate misses the free throw. Belak comes down with a rebound.
Already out
just stepped out of bounds, but the desire from Joe Belak to chase that ball. And Rob Paternostro screaming at his players to push up and push up. He sees an opportunity. And they're in a zone press here. I love that from Team White. In the zone press.
Trying to find a way back into it by any means necessary.
Bedford penetrates, left-handed layup. That's a good drive and finish by the lefty guard out of Barking Abbey.
They've had so many good guards over the past few years at Barking Abbey. They really have. Robin Bedford, Piers, Maslen, Feeney, all smaller guys that can really, really play basketball.
Belak no good on the three. That would have trimmed it back down to a one-possession game. Kitenge, and he went back court, so it's a turnover for Team White. And now you can see the competitive streak in guys coming out. I mean, you never want to see in games, but it's a part of the game, and they start to contest calls. They have a couple of choice words for the officials. Harris has it now, guarded by Jonathan Brown. Comes off the screen. Harris falling out of bounds, tries to find Powell. Ripped away by Kitenge. 2:43 left to play. Bedford on the ball. Comes off the screen from Keita. Double stagger away for the shooter. And an offensive foul called, and Okros took a tumble. So, some moisture, sweat on the floor. It is after the whistle though. He's holding his wrist as he comes up, but he looks okay.
As we go into the last 2.5 minutes, neither team in team fouls at the moment. They both used their first timeout. They're in pretty similar shape, except for the fact that Team Black have got the 6-point lead, and hopefully Team White can work their way back in.
Adebayo kicked by Kitenge as he tried to find Milo Gordon on the baseline cut. Out of bounds set for Team White. Harris gets it into Gordon. Gordon tripped, somehow gets it up to Powell.
What a block.
And it's tapped out of bounds by Team White. So it's going to be a Black possession. And we're at just over 2 minutes. This could be a huge play in the outcome of this game. Kitenge to inbound. Gets it into Okros. Okros guarded by Belak. And for some reason the shot clock's turned off. And a carry is called. I didn't know we had a carry in the game anymore. I thought it was a travel, but carry is the call. Shot clock, the cable had just come out the back. So Steve Ansell came over and plugged it back in for the table officials. And now we're back underway. Ball in the hands of Adebayo, guarded by Mate Okros. Comes off the screen, finds Powell inside, load of hands. Gordon nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Harris. Harris drives baseline, stops and floats up a 2. What a tough move by Niall Harris.
Referees are really letting them play too. It's just been really physical the last couple of minutes. Now Harris with a huge basket to get them back in the game.
Bedford has it, chased by Belak. Over to Brown. Brown running the clock down. 10 on the shot clock, into Okros, travel called.
Turnovers on back-to-back plays.
This is a big possession for Team White. Adebayo has it. Uses the screen from Powell. Adebayo fading away off 1 foot. And Niall Harris crashing in for the rebound. Ball comes to Powell. Kitenge flying out of bounds, saves it off the leg of Powell. And Wesley Ober's coming into the game. And Robin Bedford checks out. So Team Black going huge right now. Jonathan Brown at the 1, Mate Okros at the 2. And then Ober, Kitenge and Keita. Adebayo got it, Okros. Just under a minute remaining, 4-point ball game here at the Brixton Rec. Okros travels, and Team White again going to get an opportunity, and it's a timeout Black. So Steve Hansel taking a timeout for Team Black, which will give Rob Paternoster an opportunity to draw something up, and he's consulting with James Veer right now, his assistant for today's game.
Back-to-back-to-back turnovers for Team Black has allowed Team White to get back into it. If they score here, we're all to play for in the last 53 seconds of the game.
Yeah, it really will be. And we could get down to that final possession, final play like I was asking for.
Get your wish.
So 66-62, Team Black lead. The annual Hoopsfix All-Star Classic, our final event of what has been a phenomenal weekend of British basketball, both from a talent and culture standpoint and a community standpoint as well, and having this many people in the building. It's always nice just to catch up with so many familiar and friendly faces around the whole British game whenever you come down here, and I always enjoy it, but it's been another standout event, so hats off to Sam Nita and everyone else that supported him over at Hoopsfix to get this event off and running this weekend.
And literally you have, you know, the country represented all over. It's not just London basketball that's in the venue. You've got people come from all over, and they're still here for the final game. 6:15 at night on a Sunday evening. People probably got work tomorrow morning or school, but they're still here represented. And it's going right down to the wire.
Harris has it, comes off the screen from Belak, gets it on the flare. Belak crosses over, gets inside, turns it over for Team White, and Kitenge carries. So White are going to get the possession back. Steve Hansel almost at half court, screaming to his team. He wants to get this win.
So the guards, stop running away from the ball, come and get it, it's your job. Can't get any plainer than that.
No, this is true. Adebayo inbounds to Harris, 36 seconds. Adebayo saying to Harris, you gotta go, you gotta go. Harris comes off the screen, swarmed, kicks out to Adebayo. Adebayo finds Belak. Belak fading away for three. No good, out to Adebayo, 21 seconds. Adebayo for three, he's no good. Keita goes out of bounds, and it'll be a White possession in the corner. 15 seconds. And Rob Paternoster at half court, directing his team. Doesn't want to take his other timeout. Harris to inbound. Finds Adebayo. Harris steps back in, corner three. No good, rebounded by Jonathan Brown for Team Black. And he's fouled by Harris, who tries to get back possession of the basketball. And with 8 seconds left, I think that's going to do it for Team Black. Unless we get a dead ball turnover here. We're not quite going to get our... No, we got a foul there from Joe Belak on Jonathan Brown. We're not going to get our final possession like we wished, but still a great advert for junior basketball in this country, and a great opportunity for a lot of these guys that are heading off to the United States on scholarships to go and continue their basketball journey and their academic journey out in the US, to have this opportunity to play in front of friends and family.
And maybe for one of the two of the guys we were talking about, Joe Belak hasn't signed anywhere, or Niall Harris, some of the guys who are open, there'll be coaches in the States watching this game, looking out for players, and if somebody's out there and one of these guys can get an opportunity through this game, it's all the worth it and all the while. That's really good.
And Rob Paternoster, not content with giving up, is going to call a timeout, his second, so he'll have one left. So, I mean, it's a two-possession ball game with 7 seconds.
You still may get your wish. We need a quick two or quick score. Any score will do, and then foul, 2 missed free throws. He's got 1 timeout. He can advance the ball up again, and we'll see where we end up.
All right, we shall see indeed. If this is the final break that we have, then I'm going to give one more opportunity for everyone out there to hit us up on social media by following @Hoopsfix, and let us know where and how you've watched the game by using the hashtag HASC19. And awesome to see now as well that Simon Hosana out at half court, just calling Samnita out onto the floor, making sure that he gets the just praise that he deserves from everyone that's in the building for the organisation and energy and effort and sleepless nights that must go into Samnita putting on this game, because not many people will know he's now working over in Switzerland for FIBA, so everything that he's doing for Hoopsfix is on top of another job as well.
Hard to believe he does all of it, but he does. He puts in the time.
Adebayo for 3, no good.
Almost a 4-point play.
Rebounded by Oba, and that'll be it for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic 2019 as Team Black defeat Team White 67-29. Make sure that you stay with us for a couple more minutes as we have the final team photo and the presentation of the Most Valuable Player Award. It's going to be presented by Pops Mensa-Bonsu, GB basketball legend, and now the general manager of the Capital City Go-Go, which is the G League affiliate of the Washington Wizards. And we were talking to him at halftime about that experience and how it's opening up doors for him and developing his knowledge of the game on a different level and international level, so that he can bring back some of that expertise to the British game. So the more people that we have in positions of power like that, and that are almost the guys in suits, I guess, that have been there and done it and have been at the grassroots and understand what's going on, it can only benefit the game, right?
Yeah, and Pops worked hard for it. He was he's been in and around the D League, the G League, working, trying to carve a name out for himself, and he already had a name from his playing career, and he's moved forward and moved into the front office, and he's very well respected. I know he was on the player personnel rep. He was a player personnel rep for a period of time as well, so really done well for himself, Pops, and carrying it forward. So the Go-Go's are lucky to have such a good man. Pops is a very profound guy, high level of integrity, so I'm sure the organisation will be run really well.
And again, it's awesome that he's out here as well, supporting the next generation of guys. And as we said before, a load of the other GB international players as well. And we just appreciate them coming out and supporting the Classic and being a part of it. So whilst we're waiting for the two teams to take the floor for this final presentation, it's got to go to Team Black, right? There's got to be an MVP from Team Black. I mean, look at the efficiency across the ball. Huge shout out to Niall Harris on Team White, who finished with 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. But Team Black, it's either Mate Okros or Wesley Oba. I can't call it either way. Their efficiency matches up.
I do remember about 30 minutes ago me saying that it would be both of them, and I don't remember naming one, so I'll be right either way this time, I think. Surely no one will go back and listen to the tape and hear.
Well, if we're both fortunate enough to be back here next year, I'll make sure that we remember. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. It's Mate Okros of Myerscough College.
Well deserved.
And the Drexel University commit that takes home the MVP award. And yeah, well deserved, as you say, and a great way to finish off the entire weekend here at the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic.
He made their last basket. It was a huge 3 on the wing and carried them for the whole game. So yeah, very well deserved. Great British talent, and as you said, he's going to the Colonial League next year, play for Drexel, so he's going to have, you know, a wonderful opportunity in front of him in Philadelphia. So well deserved, great event, great time. You know, thanks to Sam for having us throughout the weekend. Couldn't ask for more, and looking forward to it again next year.
Yeah, definitely. And just to echo that as we sign out here from the Brixton Rec for the Hoopsfix All-Star Classic 2019. I want to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors, all of our supporters, everybody that's come out today, and for all of you joining us on the live stream. On behalf of myself, Liam Jefferson, my co-commentator Jackson Gibbons, it's a massive thank you and good night.
For your chance to